I guess we gotta go on the radio, don't we? Oh, it's only 3:02.
Three, 7, 4, 3, 4, 6, 8. At 3:30, I canceled, so we're gonna have a 4 o'clock. Oh, let me get his phone number. Shit. Let me write that down for you.
You have anything planned from 3 to 4?
Us.
Nice. I was gonna talk about the Tomlin firing or stepping down.
Yeah, definitely.
Talk about with Chad for dinner last
I didn't talk much sports yesterday because I had
Chick-fil-A for dinner last night.
No, I had spaghetti. I had it for lunch.
Edible.
So you got to.
I had manicotti for lunch and dinner last night.
I had Sakura for lunch.
Oh, I love that place. The one
There's our
right
4 p.m.
across,
guy.
right across from Choctaw.
I need to give them some praise.
If Coach Barnes doesn't call at 4:30, I'll get his number out of my phone.
Sakura, I don't know if we can have any representatives from there come on our show and accurately convey a message to our viewers.
They would say they had an awesome time. It was fabulous.
But we need
I
to
have
give-
a pork fried lice.
So why do people put pork in? Why can't you just put chicken or nothing?
No.
I like it. Yeah, I like it plain fried lice.
Teriyaki chicken. I never put the teriyaki in. I put yum yum in. But it
Oh,
comes
yeah,
with
I
the
put- yeah.
vegetables.
You ever dip chicken tenders in yum yum sauce?
Mhm.
It's amazing.
Dude, that place needs some flowers. That's the best.
It is. I've eaten there so many times. No broccoli, everything is good to go.
Yeah.
Broccoli.
Broccoli. What time is it? About o'clock.
Yeah.
All right.
You should have bought a replica of the clock tower. It's Future Freeze. It's rainbow sherbet. Yeah, rainbow sherbet. It tastes like cotton candy. It's amazing. My sister got me a 24 pack of the 3 unreleased flavors.
Drink or anything. How much time do I got?
Your son led Megs with 13 points. If you want to shoot about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, Brady.
I wonder what years this was, though. Robert Smith was the principal.
Wow.
Bob Stuckey.
Greg Wiggins ended up coaching
Don
at
Barner, band
Friars.
director. So this would have been prior to 1980 because.
Alexis Tibbetts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Roger
But look, Greg
Clinkenbeard.
Wiggins ended up being Pryor's head coach for a long time.
I think I saw Clinkenbeard's name on that 1977.
How could you forget that?
So
what about that
this
one?
probably was like
Pappen-
mid 70s, probably.
Papencino versus Clankenbeard. I wonder if they.
Scott Baker. That I interviewed him. He was the guy that he works at Preston Hood. He was on the 1977 team.
Oh, well,
so
cool,
this is
cool,
like
cool.
75.
Freddie Gray, he played for Choctaw like a few years ago. Probably his dad. Good running back. Billy Risher. Everybody knows that, the Rishers. Steve Ruth and Kevin Ruth. Where's Babe? George Herman. Camp Walton. Why is it Camp Walton? It just seems like it would work.
That's my hometown. welcome to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. Your host, Gareth Stearns. And I'm joined by my two regular co-hosts who I'm always happy to have in the studio with me, Mr. Kevin Horgan and Brady Brooks. How you doing, gentlemen, today?
I'm doing good, Happy to be here.
Man, I miss you guys when you're gone. I feel like it's just nothing but business whenever you're gone. There's no sports talk or anything. I try to pack the show with as many guests as possible because, 2 hours is a long time. It's 10 hours a week. So what I'm trying to say is I'm happy to have you back. But I also want to thank my guests who were in studio yesterday, Mr. Joe Nasha of Habitat for Humanity with the Restore building at Fort Walton Beach. They have a big event at Trinity United Methodist Church tomorrow night at 5 o'clock. Isn't that your church? Yeah. That's Brady's church. So the same place that I vote every six months as well, where hopefully the community will vote at the municipal elections that are going to be held, I think it's March 10th. And it might be the last time that these elections for the municipalities will be held at that weird date, at least in Fort Walton, because one of the things that's going to be voted on is, why not? Why are we doing it? So why are we spending the money after people have been electioned to death in November, and they're tired of seeing the campaign commercials and signs and billboards, and then we just jump right back into it with municipal elections. So when's your birthday? You're gonna miss. I wonder if there's a waiver if you're 17 and 9/10. I mean, there have been far more illegal votes cast around the country, I'm sure.
I was gonna say at least you're living, so that's more than a lot of people.
It depends it depends on the municipality. We're pretty conservative in this area, so we have things pretty locked down. We do require a photo identification, which is a stark difference from when I lived in North Carolina for 18 years, and it was very easy to just claim that you could be anyone, and you would see your neighbors' names as they were looking at your name on the paper. Anyway, I'm very glad that I have to show my ID on an airplane, and I have to show my ID to open up a bank account, and I have to show my ID to a police officer if he pulls me over. So voting should be no different. In fact, voting should be the most important thing, that we guarantee that the person who's making this decision or pulling the lever is the person who they indeed say they are. Well, there have been a couple changes in the last year. One is we no longer have to take our shoes off as we go through the gates. That's been a long time coming, ever since the shoe bomber. You usually remember their names, Kevin. Do you remember his name?
Richard Reed?
Dude, I think that's exactly who it was. Yeah, and I can still picture his mugshot, too.
Yes.
And then the other change was, people who are not traveling can actually pass through security a lot easier now to say goodbye to their minor children who may be traveling without them or whatnot.
I don't really think this should have been like a punishment to the public. Everything they have is a reason for it. When it comes to public safety at places like airports, I don't really know if there's reason to go back and vote. I know if I'm wrong for that. Take my shoes off or not, or risking me all over, but like there's reason for it. I'd rather be discomforted by security than discomforted by a bomb being in someone's shoes on an airplane or something. From my perspective, there's no convenience. That's how it's been as long as I've been alive, so it's different.
It's wise of you to qualify that with that you're lacking context of having not lived in that time. I'll provide the context. It was just shortly after the 9/11 attacks, so we are all on heightened sense of alert. Whatever plane crash happens next or any sort of incident, it's obviously also related to Islamic terrorism or whatever the soup du jour was at the time. And this guy did it really dumb too. I mean, he did have some sort of explosives packed into his shoe, and he tried to light it with a match. With if you're trying to secretly light something, you should be using a lighter, which you could easily get through the security back then.
Pre
But
9/11.
a match is very distinctive. In fact, I love the smell of a good freshly struck match, and gave himself away immediately. He wasn't able to light the wick, and people were people were vigilant in those days. I mean, they were hyper vigilant, and so he really affected travel. That guy for a solid 20 years.
So did DB Cooper.
Do you get that reference, Brady? But man, that's impressive. Your soul is older than dirt. That's right. You know, speaking of crazy, the weather might just be getting a little crazy this weekend. Expect a cooler Gulf breeze today with temperatures hovering in the mid-60s this afternoon, dropping into the upper 40s tonight. A mix of sun and clouds will dominate the day, and winds will pick up slightly in late afternoon. No significant rain is expected until late in the week, but keep your jackets handy. Tomorrow morning, we may dip back into the low 40s, and that is the local news that's the local weather for January 14th. But I tell you what, on Sunday, which is the day after my birthday, there's a 20% chance of wintry mix.
I believe that's the day before the national championship game.
It is. Well, you know what? That is a once in a century type event, and I think we've already spent that. Yeah. So, it was. I was okay with seeing people your age that had never experienced. I don't want to speak for your history, but a lot of my students last year have never traveled out of the state of Florida and had never experienced a true snow event like that. All right. Well, that was a genuine snow. That wasn't a little flaky, little disappearing type, no accumulation type snow. That was snowman building snow.
I think I saw snow at Club La Vila back in 2001.
Oh, yeah. Informer. You know, say that to me, snowman, I'm gonna blame. I lick your boom boom down.
I'm glad that didn't fall flat. Thank you.
Detective and they say, you know, say that to me, snowman, stab someone down the lane. I lick your boom boom down. Did you get that one? See, that song was sampled by someone like a couple of years ago, so you might...
Yeah, kind of like the What's Going On back from like 1993 has been
Yes,
popular.
it was that one. So you picked that one. Anyway, thank you for picking us up on the FM dial, 94.3. Stick around for Walton Beach, what we're doing. Nice shoot. Nice shoot.
Wanted 8 inches of snow.
I know. I it was all I could to just try to take it in a different direction.
That's even worse.
Somebody call. Tanya, call. Tanya from Fort Walton Beach Fun and Food. She changed the name of the Facebook group.
I don't dislike her, but I would rather Tanya Harding call. I got a lot of questions for her.
I would like to know if she's still in contact with Jeff Gillooly.
Jeff Gillooly, who actually did the knee striking.
Does she still have an issue of that Penthouse magazine?
What about her wedding night video?
Well, where she came up to the camera and cupped it like this?
With aforementioned Jeff Gillooly.
Yeah.
I would like to ask her if she would fight Tanya Harding UFC style.
Someday I'll tell you about a teacher I worked with who was on the flight into Seattle with DB Cooper. It was crazy. I want to know that story.
You know, one of the most explainable, legitimate DB Cooper theories was a guy, he's passed away, but he actually lived his last 25 years in Navarre.
Oh, my.
It'll be very important in terms of mood. Let people know that Verizon and the spot. So if you're having trouble contacting someone, I know many of the calls are working. And for me, my cellular data is on off right now, off over for 2 or 3 minutes. So nobody's ignoring the calls. I'm sure you see husbands out there who can get talking to them and get home. Just the internet. I had a text about it. A couple days ago from Verizon that might last almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
So just spotty service, whatever you've been experiencing today, you might consider, I don't know, get used to it, or maybe consider other options. If I was AT&T or T-Mobile, I would be marketing. Yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have Verizon, but many of my close immediate family members do.
Well, I'm going to knock on wood here because I do have Verizon and I have not noticed anything spotty about my service today. I am Facebook simulcasting with my Verizon cell phone right now. It's like an iPhone 14, but it does the job. And so that's the benefit of this show. Listening to it, you have a couple different ways. You can terrestrially receive us while you're driving around town on your FM dial, FM 94.3 FTW. You can listen to us online at our website, 943ftw.com. And I try to Facebook simulcast every show. And that's really cool because I'm able to tap into the commercials and everything. So you get a chance to listen to local advertisements. If you live out of town and you tune into the show because we talk about nostalgia and local history and stuff, it may be kind of cool for you to hear, I don't know, a commercial from Goofy Golf or the skating rink, which now they're calling themselves Bongo's Fun Center. Did you guys pick up on that? Have you seen that?
I had no idea.
It's no longer Fort Skate. They have done a rebrand. This happened on January 1st, and their website has changed. It's Bongo's Fun Center. They've got a gorilla as their main like Mickey Mouse type component figure. They are still a skating rink, but they're a fun center as well. So they've got they've expanded their arcade. They've got the play center, like where you can climb on things in the back, and they've got a really cool new party room in the back that you can reserve parties. They've put these really like 3 different 80-inch screen TVs. You can, as adults, you can have adult parties back there, and if you want to risk injury, you can get on the rink itself. But yeah, I always take my kids there. It's so much fun, and yeah, nothing has changed. Skating rink style is still the best skating experience I have ever had in my entire life. And I've been to a lot of skating rinks because I definitely try to duplicate it. My daughter loves it, and she will tell you right off the bat that nothing compares to the local skating rink.
Big push. Speaking of name changes, I was having a discussion with somebody last week, and I don't know if you feel the same way, and this is very random, but you can tell if you've lived here a long time because you still call it OW.
Yeah, there's a couple things like that. I don't refer to Uptown Station as Uptown
The
Station.
square.
It's always going to be the square,
right?
Fort Walton Square. Hurlburt Road is that used to be Martin Luther King Jr.
Freedom
Way.
Way.
That's what it is. Freedom Way.
Commando Boulevard.
Yeah, I forgot. So I don't refer to it as Freedom Way, but I've seen and read where people are reluctant to call things by their new names because it'll always be a certain thing to them.
Yeah, I was just talking to a guy, and I said, OW usually has a pretty good basketball team, and he's like, who's that? And I was like, OW, the junior college out in Niceville. And he's like, oh, Northwest Florida State. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. But it's just, you can tell you've lived here a long time if you call it OW, because I still know a lot of people that call it OW.
Or even deeper, slow W.
Yeah.
Because back then the idea was that you couldn't make it to the big 4-year university, so you could you could slowly transition to adult life. And when in reality, it's probably very wise to do that. It's so much cheaper to get those general education credits out of the way. And
I still remember the year that they transferred from OWJC to OWCC, which was 1991.
That's right. And then they very briefly dropped one of the C's, and they were just OWC. They were Okaloosa Walton College. It was around 2005, 2006. I have a pencil that has.
And I actually like that. That would look good on the front of a jersey, just OWC.
Yeah. And then the Northwest Florida State, of course, came after that.
Yes, TCC. I think all the, PJC is now Pensacola State College.
What's the mascot for Tallahassee
the
State
Eagles
College? Oh, good shoot.
And PJC is also now Pensacola State College or whatever.
So they've all made that transition.
Yeah, they all have. Chipola is the only one, I believe, in the Panhandle Conference that has not. And Chipola, a lot of very famous Major League Baseball alum, by the way. I did not know they have had so much big name talent to go through Chipola. Is that legal?
Sia, like the singer that.
I hope Pedro Serrano doesn't find out about that. That's young, 8-month-old.
One of our Facebook simulcast viewers just left a comment, Mr. John Richard. He does a great job every day of listing our phone number for everyone
Yes, thank you.
on that thread. And if you are listening, it's 850-374-3468. He said one of the colloquial names that, another name that we haven't mentioned, when locals nowadays refer to the boardwalk or the crab trap, that area, that'll always be Wayside
Right.
to longtime
Right,
locals.
yeah.
Wayside Beach. That's right. Look at you picking up on a little bit of local history there. So yeah, good shoot there, Mr. John Richard. I'm assuming it's Richard. You haven't corrected me yet. It's spelled like Richard, but I'm gonna, in my head, it's pronounced all pretentious like.
So is that the Syracuse Orangeman logo?
That's the Syracuse Orange.
Oh, that's okay.
Who are we to apply gender to a color?
That's true. It's 2026. I almost
right.
said 25. I was very proud of myself. Doing the closing paperwork at work on New Year's Day, I absolutely did not write 2025. I wrote 2026 on my first try. I think that's the first time in my life I haven't taken a few weeks into the new year to stop writing the previous year when I have to write the date on.
Congratulations. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I'm fresh out of pumpkin spice and eggnog. Brady, you got anything new in your life that you'd like to report?
I just had Sakura today. We were talking about that.
Very, very good.
If you've not had Sakura before, it's the best Japanese food that I've ever had as far as, anywhere in the world.
Now that is the one that's right across the street from Choctaw, in the same plaza as Little Caesars.
And I assure you, it is much better hibachi than Yamato's and Okinawa for a fraction of the price. A fraction of the price, much better.
I bought a fountain drink and 2 teriyaki chicken, and this is a place that is such a good box.
Yeah.
If you want to, so what I do is I'll pour yum yum sauce in, and then I dump the boxes around and swirl it to try to mix the sauce in. And then you can't do that. You have to pour a little bit out, and then mix it up, and then pour the rest in. And I got 2 big filled boxes in a fountain drink for just $30. So it was very great. And I think I couldn't really
Oh wow, what a big push. Brady is not kidding. Those to-go boxes, when you get them, literally weigh like 5 pounds.
Free advertising for Sakura, located on Racetrack Road across the street from Choctaw High School.
Not Shakira. Sakura.
No, but
Yeah, because I would like for you to give me your chicken and shrimp hibachi. Or steak and shrimp. What was I thinking?
it doesn't lie, like Shakira's hips.
Yeah, I was very surprised to hear that they have lost their last 7 straight playoff games. I mean, C.J. Stroud had 7 turnovers and they still managed to beat Pittsburgh.
Whenever we talk about the playoffs, yes, I think you might have a very exciting. You go on Saturday or Sunday?
We are a Sunday game.
You're gonna have a great Sunday.
I didn't know the Vikings made the playoffs.
Now, are you saying that because of injuries? Because you seemed pretty confident about the Texans last week. What changed? Because, I mean, they upset.
Their defense is amazing.
So I said on Saturday that the only way the Texans would have lost that game is if C.J. Stroud lost that game for them. I said they wouldn't have hired their quarterback to left them all year. And there was no training, hopefully with the quarterback all. It was just a good team. But C.J. Stroud is very up and down, especially after his rookie year. He's a huge jump. And he's running to a cold weather atmosphere in Pittsburgh, which is not supposed to be get teams like Buffalo, New York, New England, like, that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
He fumbled the ball 5 times. I think only 2 of them ended up being turnovers.
Actually, he fumbled 6 times, lost 4 of them, and threw an interception in the red zone. But, a cold weather environment, he played at Ohio State.
Yeah.
He should be used to that.
I think it's just as of recently, when it comes to the offense, public teams kind of
Yeah.
It's just as simple as that. But C.J. Stroud played at a level where the only team I think in the entire places in AFC and NFC where that quarterback play would have won the game is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they put up 30, but that is the fakest. I won't say the fakest to discredit them, but that was not a blowout. That was not 30 to 6 ball game. It was 1 or 2 two scores into like 3 minutes left.
One of them was a scoop and score, defensive scoop and score. So there's 7. So and yeah, so right there, you're down to what 16 points. Yeah, the field goal festival.
Well, the Patriots only put up 16 points in their game against the Chargers. So is that going to be enough against the Texans?
I think so. The offense, this part of the defense is stopping. What really concerned me was the Patriots, and we'll have to with the defense, but they did a pretty good job in the only offensive coordinator in football that ever had in the NFL. He's looking at his tenure and brought him on to the Chargers, and they just let him go earlier this week. I thought they were going to be able to protect that defensive line. The biggest weakness for the Chargers is their offensive line and protecting the quarterback, but we saw that ultimately was the bullet that they had to bite, and that was why they beat everybody.
Yeah, the most hit quarterback in the NFL this year, the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this year, and with all that talent they have, they really should invest in an offensive line and maybe a blocking tight end.
Yeah, with the Steelers, Tomlin's gone. I think we're going to see something similar to what Sean Payton had. I think Tomlin's going to have a TV deal waiting on him to take a year or two to himself, and then they're going to have to trade him. Like, they're going to send him off to his other team, Walton, and I think he will coach in the NFL again. I don't think he will next year, but this is what the Steelers needed. They needed a new coach, new quarterback. Might as well do it at the same time. Get two guys together who can learn and grow. And as far as the Texans, I cannot trust CJ Stroud in the cold weather in Foxborough after what I just watched.
Now I don't remember where I read it. I remember I read it on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. I don't remember who posted it, but I did read that a couple of the NFL head coaching vacancies do have interest in Kirby Smart.
Yeah, I've seen that they have interest in Kirby Smart. Kirk Cousins actually touched on that. They need to touch new head of football operations division in the Falcons. But I think Kirby's pretty happy with where he is. I don't think he'll be losing the Football dollars.
Coaches get their form of NIL as well.
Sure do.
It's not just a player thing in college.
We can talk much more college football, high school sports, local news, whatever you want. Give us a call at 850-374-3468. You're listening to Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing. Stick around.
Hopefully Coach Barnes doesn't have Verizon.
Yeah.
You going to the Crestview game tomorrow night?
I don't think so.
He knows me. Like, that's good. When you go, we lose. When you don't go, we win.
True that. Stick with that. All right, we get a soda.
What about a neutral? Oh. I just killed a spider. Do you guys see it? Teardrop tattoo now because he gone. Brady, I killed a spider. Should I get a teardrop tattoo now? Yeah, I killed a spider, so I should get a teardrop tattoo. It's dead. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Do you want to do it, or should I get it professionally done?
That's a good schedule. That's better than an out-of-state team, I think. I'd much rather have common opponents in state. Yeah. They're better here than they were last year. That's all you get.
What a crash and burn.
I know.
I just killed a spider with it. I killed a spider with it. I showed your Facebook Live the dead spider. I just killed a spider.
Sweet.
So I should get one of those teardrop tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Remember when Taker had one in the late 90s, like right at the beginning of the
Remember when you had Sarah?
Yeah.
His neck?
Now it's just like a black line. So, I mean, I know the guy can have the money to have it completely removed, but yet it's got a black line through it. I wonder what he's making off his podcast and off the Happy Dad sponsorship. I'd love to get him on the show. Taker's agent.
Wait, who on the show?
I'd love to get Taker on the show.
Ben, dude, are you kidding? That'd be amazing.
How much? Yeah, you think Merced charges a lot? What do you think?
We
Callaway.
should talk about what Merced charges.
It's like a freaking OnlyFans.
An $1 million peso hombre.
I'd actually rather pay that money to see his OnlyFans than to have him on the goddamn radio. I mean, how?
I don't know what I would ask to get $400 worth of.
Would we have to get a translator?
Well, he's been a teacher for years in the public school system.
Why was Rick Martel wearing an FSU hat?
He's lived in the Tampa area for years, but he has actually removed. You know how like wrestlers give shoot interviews.
Yeah.
He has not been a part of wrestling for 25 years, and he did not waste his money. He didn't go drink with the boys every night. He invested. Like he is super rich on his own. He doesn't need to do the con circuit. Comic-Con
there was
type
somebody
thing.
else just like that too.
So that's why I'm actually intrigued by him showing up at that, because he doesn't do that.
Right. Yeah. Maybe he's falling on hard time. Maybe he's serving hard time.
Maybe he's just arrogant.
Wonder if he ever fought Boss Man. Was it a heel versus a baby face?
What about Zink? Did he ever get his comeuppance with that? They never paid off the Strike Force.
No, why didn't they ever do like a barbershop type thing with Strike Force like they did with the Rockers when Jannetty tried to jump out the window?
They broke up at WrestleMania 5. They never had any sort of payoff match or anything. He just reappeared as the Matador a few months later.
Just like he
and
was
and then Rick Martel became the model.
Just like he was in WWE for 6 years, and we never got Stone Cold versus Goldberg, and we never got Stone Cold versus Hogan.
Or really, truly good Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan storyline on television.
Yeah.
Why
didn't we get it at WrestleMania 8? Why did we get
screwed that Royal Rumble 92 up when Hogan had to be Hogan wasn't going to win. They were going to let Flair win the title, but Hogan had to be involved. And then so I think Sid Justice eliminated Hogan.
Yeah.
And then Hogan pulled Sid Justice out.
Yep, because Hogan always had that creative control in his contract.
It didn't work for me, brother.
Yeah, way ahead of his time when it comes to Terry. Rest in peace, Terry. I was in line for Soren when I found out he passed.
And welcome back to Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose for your sounding board. If you want to give us a call, 850-374-3468. We provide a little local history. We do community engagement through in-studio interviews, and we do some local news as well. So we actually had our 3:30 Miracle Strip Body Shop afternoon interview segment of the day that had to be postponed until tomorrow. So Mr. Colin Bester of Mid-Bay News is actually going to be showing up tomorrow afternoon. So we have a little bit of time to fill with some local news, and it gives us a little time to talk about a Fort Walton Beach teenager earning the Eagle Scout rank with a chess table project at Ferry Park, where you and I used to play Little League Baseball, Kevin.
Yeah, now they're soccer fields.
The JCs was our team.
Arby's was one of mine as well.
Nice. Local scout Caleb Hill from Troop 157 officially earned the rank of Eagle Scout after completing a major community project at Ferry Park. Hill built and installed 4 permanent chess tables, complete with built-in benches and weather-resistant playing surfaces. City officials praised Hill's workmanship and planning, noting that the tables are already drawing interest from local chess groups and youth organizations. Hill says he chose the project after noticing that many people in the community enjoy strategy games, particularly teenagers and senior citizens, but they don't always have access to outdoor spaces where they can play together. The chess tables are now a permanent part of Ferry Park's layout.
Hill, yeah.
Brady, do you play chess?
Wasn't he on the coaching staff for the football team or currently?
He was on the football, on the coaching staff of the football team, and when I played at Pryor Middle School, he was the line coach.
Okay.
He was talking about.
Yes, he does. He's a very knowledgeable person.
Yeah,
He ran the stat sheet, and he let me take a look. Actually, I don't know if I told you guys this. During the season, he told me he was going to share the doc with you and he takes all the stats. And he said, nobody can know about this. If somebody had it, they would be. So I said, okay. We were playing at South Walton. I wouldn't talk to him before half, and on my way back out, I half, and he was like, hey, go in and learn this. Second out to the right, open up, shoot, do it, do it. And I said, yeah, man. It was like he worked in active summer.
Oh.
He worked through the so I was looking at percentage completion on first right, third down, stuff like 2 yards to go. And it was everything. He did everything. I mean, like completions when he goes down to receivers off the ball, something like that. I was like, I believe this. I'm not going to, whatever. I don't even know how many centimeters or any yard per completion or whatever. I think 12. That's how I think. He scared me away with his knowledge.
Wow.
Kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the coaching staff.
Yeah, we saw him a lot this season because he sat in the press box quite a bit, and sometimes the press box didn't have partitions, and yeah. Also a good teacher at the school as well. Yeah, he is.
I had a Horton at
Yeah,
Meg.
speaking, I did too.
Yeah.
Steve Horton.
Steve Horton.
He worked for many years with the school board as well. He was a big Florida Gator fan. He was a math teacher,
Yes, he was.
and he was also friends with Mr. Scroggins.
Yeah, big Florida State fan. Best friends, Florida State.
Yep.
I know a couple people like that. And Matt Hall, I believe.
He played on our little team.
He played in our Little League team at Ferry Park.
That's right. What the whole?
See, oh wow, he did he hit the portal? Okay. She used to work at the skating rink. I believe so. Yes, I believe she used to work at Bongos. Is that what it is? now?
Well, it's Bongo's Fun Center now. Bongo's Family Fun Center. It was Fort Skate prior to that. It was the Fort Walton Skating Center prior to that. And
It's like OW. If you've lived here a long time, it's just a skating rink.
yeah.
It's very college
Maybe we
style.
could get Brett Longo or Courtney Longo in here to
Yes.
talk about the calculus behind the name change and see Brett, first initial of Brett, and then the last 4 letters of Longo. And that's not mine. My daughter Evelyn came up with that. She hypothesized. She postulated.
So
that.
with your broken arm PTSD,
Oh,
you're okay with her
there we
going
go.
to skating rink.
You know what? You got to make your.
Is it in the back of your head when you're there?
How else do you grind through without? You can't just be out of sight, out of mind all the time. The trampolines still exist.
Right.
She's still a young, growing child who wants to have fun and experience. She's worn 3 different casts.
But it's harder to break her arm just sitting inside playing Fortnite.
Very true. Very true.
Just throwing that out there. Because I know that she has played with my daughter and my nephew Fortnite online.
Is that a fact?
Yes. Fortnite or Roblox or something like that. Daisy, all those. They've all played together, and I have heard them in there on the headsets, hooting and hollering before. So I wish we would have had that kind of technology growing up, but we would have missed out on some cool stuff, though.
Yeah, we had plenty of decent technology. We had that radio that picked up the
Cell phone
the cell phone
conversations, and we had your JVC camcorder. What else do you need?
We did. He had this magical radio in the infancy of cell phones.
I have it still.
In car phones. I guess the frequencies, the wavelengths that cell phone calls were operating on was very similar to a frequency that old radios could tune into.
Yes.
That's the best way I can explain it.
It only worked between 1600 and 1700 on the AM dial, if you remember.
Yeah.
I bought it at Radio Shack to go to the beach one day, my junior year in high school. And I actually,
1995,
yes,
94.
94, 95. I still have it. It is on my desk in my bedroom as we speak.
And it was magical. It didn't pick up the entire phone call. It would kind of pop in maybe at the very beginning of a phone call or in the middle of it, but you would only get like 10 seconds of it.
And I think living so close to one of the major roads in this town probably helped out what we heard, because I think that's why we always got portions of the calls, because they were driving by on Eglin Parkway. And maybe we just talked about this. Didn't we even hear your mother one time?
I'm pretty sure that we
I
did not
could've-
make that up. But
I could have sworn we heard your mom one
Could
time.
be a Mandela effect or thing, but I don't. It would not surprise me,
Call
because
your
she
dad and
definitely
ask
had a car phone. My dad had one too. He had one in the minivan, and my mom had
Yes.
one in the decorating.
And you
bin.
had one in the Camaro.
I did. Yeah, I was a very privileged kid. I
Yeah,
guess.
you had a car phone and like.
But I wasn't allowed to use it unless it was emergency. It was like 25 cents a minute.
You know, I rode in that thing hundreds of times. I don't know if I ever saw you use it. How many times do you think you actually physically used it?
Well, it's like Will Smith said in his video. You just pick it up sometimes to look cool. You know.
No, did you do that? Like when you pull up to a red light?
Oh
next
yeah.
To, okay.
Oh yeah.
Rev up your engine and hold up your car phone. That's a pretty big flex back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We use these things for, we were talking about perspective earlier. Like, you know, you can use that mindset of like, oh, I'm never going to change because, you know, I once called it this and I think that's better. You got to love it. You know, that's all this, some of the news. Open containers in cars, and there's this one lady who was like, "You tell me I gotta work along there, I can
Have a cold Steve Weiser.
Yeah. Mom's probably smoking a cigarette and
With the window cracked like a half of a millimeter.
Surprised the baby wasn't on her lap.
She wasn't that good of a mother. Come on now. Well, yeah, why do I have to wait till I get home to have a Zima?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, also she came from an era where the drinking age was 18 years old.
Yeah,
too.
that's true.
Used to be that way around here. That's what we do. Talk a little bit about everything. Local history, local news, community engagement. The name of the show is Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. We hope that you'll stick around for this next 2 minutes while we pay the bills.
Good Vince Scully while we pay the bill. This is Vince Scully. I like that. Didn't he pass Reese?
Yeah.
What about Tommy Lasorda?
Yeah.
Did you know Mike P? Did you know? Okay, Tommy Lasorda drafted Mike Piazza because as a favor because it was his nephew, and he turned out to be one of the best catchers in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
He wasn't even going to get drafted.
It was like the 52nd round or something
and he's
like
the
that.
best, hands down, the best offensive catcher in the history of baseball. I don't think you can argue Mike Piazza. I mean, how many 30, 100 seasons did he have as a catcher? At least. Brady. How many 30 home run, 100 RBI seasons did Mike Piazza have? At least 8? Yeah. Is it? Oh, well, he's the greatest offensive catcher of all time is what my point I'm trying to make. And I'm trying to back it up with statistical facts. I mean, who could you argue? Who could you argue as an offense? Pudge? Not even close.
Carlton Fisk.
Yeah, but how many 30, 100 seasons of Carlton
Johnny
Fisk?
Bench.
What? Ted Simmons is in the Hall of Fame.
Yogi Berra.
That tells you how weak.
Yeah.
Ted Simmons is only in the Hall of Fame because he played for 38 years. He never did anything. But he was... Yeah. Ted Simmons was a switch-hitting catcher, though. That is very...
Gary Carter.
Gary Carter. Another Met like Piazza. So, can you think of any other switch-hitting catchers besides Ted Simmons? Because that's very rare. Adley Rutschman, right? Is Adley Rutschman a switch hitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good shoot.
He actually played football at Oregon State as well as baseball, and he tackled Christian McCaffrey in the open field. It went viral. It's on.
30 home runs, 100 RBIs in 9 seasons, and 6 of them he also carried at least a 300 out.
Bam. Did you hear that?
What's that?
Piazza had 30 and 109 seasons, and 6 of those 9 he had hit over 300.
That's nuts.
Bam. Best offensive catcher of all time. No. Not even Drake Baldwin. Definitely not Sean Murphy. In the middle of the night. That sounded like the intro. It also sounded a lot like the intro to Runaway Train.
Did a little
Didn't
bit.
it?
That was CCR.
Yes, I have not seen.
know.
I've not seen Yolanda Isabel Solis, but I have seen The Rain.
All right.
She was the one that replaced Andrea Durham. We talked about that.
That's right.
In the Runaway Train video.
Can't find that. You cannot find the
No,
Andrea
it's-
Durham
it's-
version of the Runaway Train video.
You have a better chance of winning the lotto or getting struck by lightning.
Maybe if they released like a VHS back in the day when the video came out, like
Right.
a collection of greatest hits or something like that. Anyway, yeah, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. This is For Walton Beach, What We're Doing, your daily dose of local news, local history, community engagement. We are going to be joined in the next hour by a couple of guests. At 4 o'clock, we're going to be joined by my personal friend and a pop culture icon, really. He's a local historian, both of this area and of his hometown near Birmingham, Alabama. Mr. Tim Hollis is going to be joining us. He is an author. He is an author multiple times over. He vacationed here with his family in the late 60s, early 70s, and then he wrote about it. So he's got a really cool perspective, and it's good. And he's got one of the biggest, I'm going to call it the biggest privately owned collection of pop culture memorabilia on the planet. Whether it's board games or napkins that advertise a restaurant or promotional travel brochures or just ephemera in general. It's his museum is a sight to behold, and he actually turned his museum, his household, his childhood home into this museum. So he lives in his house, he lives among his things, and then you can also come by appointment and view this amazing collection of pop culture, nostalgia, and it's really cool. I'm excited to talk to him.
I wonder if he has any old Back to the Future stuff.
Oh, he has. I mean, you got to think deeper than that. You have to think more random, more kitsch, more. There are some board games that were produced that you would just think, why in the hell did they make a board game for the Barney Miller television show?
Rockford Files.
Yeah. So really
Back to the
excited
Future
talk
with
about
Eric Stoltz.
that. Yeah, oh man, if I could ever see the footage, I've only ever seen the.
I have it all.
Stills of the
It's on the collector's anniversary Blu-ray set.
Yeah, they only have like one. They filmed like 40% of the.
No,
movie
they
with
have
Eric
all of
Stoltz.
it now. I have one that has all the footage they filmed with Eric Stoltz. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Mask with Cher.
Oh
Eric
man.
Stoltz.
That's
Sam Elliott.
yeah.
What a voice. What a voice.
What a voice.
What a mustache.
I wish I'm going to read this next news article in my best Sam Elliott voice. No, I'm not, because this news article is just too bizarre. So I'm just gonna try to read it with a straight face. You guys may have heard this as the news was breaking yesterday because it was shared all across social media. So, Fort Walton Beach police officers responded to reports of disorderly conduct at a local massage parlor, resulting in arrest. Yeah, believe it or not, they found a woman acting erratically and refusing to cooperate. According to the arrest report, the woman became combative and in the struggle intentionally defecated in the direction of officers while attempting to resist. Do you need time to look up defecate? Again, yeah. She was taken into custody on multiple charges, including battery on law enforcement. That's assault, brother.
Yeah, he had Sakura last night. He's very well aware of defecation.
Yeah. Police describe the scene as, quote, one of the more unusual encounters they've had this month.
I would only imagine.
Yeah.
So what was, I mean, you almost made me forget about the fact that there was something disorderly going on.
Yeah, I complete. Yeah, I mean.
I'm sure that was going on too.
There's got to be body cam footage of this. And
Yes.
Not that I need to seek this out, but I kind of need to know the angle of attack or the strategy employed. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of impressive that she went that way.
If my aunt's listening, like always, maybe she can answer that. Is body camera footage not public record once it's done with the investigation?
Well, I mean, anyone could probably do a freedom of information request to see it. I don't know if I want to have my name on record as the one seeking that out. But this is the kind of story that's just so nuts. This is going to end up on late night talk shows or on a national level.
Yes.
Because it's just so absurd.
Fort Walton will be mentioned by, you know.
I mean, did she drop trout and like spread the cheeks and like aim it and that? Yeah.
Did she like throw it like at the zoo or like the Matrix?
I mean, was it all in like one shot? Was it rapid fire? Was it?
Did she do the spin-a-rooney and just kind of like shoot it, protrude it everywhere? Yeah, you just stank my battleship.
Oh, dude, I got nothing.
Yeah. Cattle ship.
Cattle ship. That's a good one.
People are like, why are we listening?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe because they're waiting to hear this next news story about a Milton man claiming he, quote, accidentally killed his best friend while playing with guns. WEAR-TV is reporting that a Milton man told investigators he, quote, accidentally shot and killed his best friend while the two were handling firearms at a home. Deputies say the men were drinking together, shocker, and passing firearms back and forth when one of the guns discharged, striking the victim in the head. The suspect said he believed the gun was unloaded. Authorities noted that alcohol was involved and that multiple firearms were present in the home. The case remains under active investigation with possible charges pending. Possible charges.
Wow.
Guns don't kill people. I do. Can you name the movie, Kevin?
Is that UHF?
Oh, dude, you the man. That's,
Conan the Librarian. Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
yeah, if you're at all a fan of Weird Al, that's basically, he parodies movies throughout the movie, is in the same way that he parodies music. So.
Yeah, I think it was Del Taco. Which
Well,
closed down, Gareth, so you got your retribution. Yes, it did.
It did. I'm a little disappointed because I definitely would have gone back.
But you got your retribution for them putting lettuce on it.
But
They're
you know what?
closed.
That's you get what you pay for, literally and figuratively. And you know, I would have expected a little better from South Walton, Del Taco, that's for sure. But did I really rant about the lettuce?
You're a little bit upset.
In fairness, that was the same
little
night
bit
that FSU lost in overtime to Virginia. So
Yeah,
it
that
might
guy
have been
below
Ontario.
you kept ruining it on purpose because he heard you saying you're trying to avoid it. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so
Arnold
I
was
gave
there
it
next
another
week.
shot. Yeah, and then they ended up closing. So, the law of averages.
1 out of 2.
Yeah, they closed the location at the Ponce de Leon exit as well. Ponce de Leon.
And the Del Taco over on North Davis and Pensacola closed.
Oh man, why isn't it of the taco?
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have, well, you can't ask them, but I was gonna say you can ask them, but. So we know the Burger Kings in Fort Walton have all closed. I've heard the rumors. What is the final verdict on what Wendy's have closed and what Wendy's have? That's like the worst one.
Apparently, it was a different franchisee, and you know the law of supply and demand. You got to think that they're seeing an uptick in business, and but that one closed down as well.
The one on the Wendy's on Eglin is now listed on Zillow or Zilla or whatever for a couple $1 million. The building.
No, man, that's yeah, lots of changes. We don't have Wendy's, we don't have Burger King, we don't have Denny's.
No,
of course.
let's not talk about Denny's, please.
Hooters also recently closed down.
The one in Destin? Wow.
Red Lobster closed down last year.
The Seagull burned down, but
I don't even know what gift card to buy anymore in that little end cap at Walmart.
You know, I think it's safe to say that the Burger King next to Choctaw has to be top 5 worst fast food experiences in the entire United States when it was open. I have heard some of the craziest stories. Unbelievable stories, and it was always about the Burger King right there in Racetrack. Yeah. How did you not just get one? Right.
And that's the place where you're supposed to have it your way.
It's kind of like the Braves bullpen. You know, can't you just get one consistent, reliable? Yeah.
It's never their pleasure at Burger King.
Maybe now if a Whataburger could just open on all the Burger King and Wendy's locations, maybe the drive-thru wouldn't always be so packed.
Yeah, I can't hate on Whataburger.
No,
Especially I love me some Val over at the Whataburger on Miracle Ship Parkway. That's my girl over there. You can literally hear her smiling through the intercom when she's taking your order.
Brady, were you alive when the Whataburger by the Cinco Bridge was Hardee's? Okay. Yes. Yep.
Yep, I made that mistake after a game one time this year. Luckily, I had ordered on the app, but I had to cut in front of the entire student body population, including Taman Zavatakis, who was in the news recently because he accepted an offer. Kevin, do you have the information on that?
Yes, he accepted a scholarship offer from the junior college who has won the most junior college national championships, Hutchinson Community College out of Kansas. The Hutch is what they call it. I wonder if it is the most prestigious junior college football program in the country. So why was it not featured on Last Chance U?
Why do they still call it a junior college there?
And Taman also did have an offer from Indy, Dream U, the school that was featured on Last Chance U. He also did get an offer from there.
Well, I'm happy that he's getting the opportunity to do this. This is
31 touchdowns, almost 3,000 total yards to just four turnovers. What a one of the best statistical seasons as in the history of Choctaw quarterback play.
For show. This show is going to continue for another hour. We're going to be joined in the next hour by pop culture historian Tim Hollis at the beginning of it, and then we're going to be joined by Choctaw basketball coach Coach Brown at 4:30.
Coach Barnes.
Coach Barnes. Oh, gee, go Big Green. My bad. Fort Walton Beach, what are we doing?
We've had 3 coaches in 3 years.
Damn it. That's right there. Yeah.
Like the Wizard of Oz? Is that true or is that a myth?
Huh?
Is there something in the background that hung themselves in Wizard of Oz?
Oh, no, it was like a flamingo in the background.
What about 3 Men and a Baby? That's also been said.
That's a cardboard cutout.
You heard it about 3 Men and a Baby, though, too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened to Steve Guten?
It's Coach Barnes. Coach Barnes. No, nobody's left.
Upper.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't have Verizon.
What was that noise? No. I got dead air. Hey, we have dead air. Oh, I'm here right now.
Like those sweatpants.
Well, it would appear that we are having some technical difficulties at the station, I guess. I don't know. All of a sudden, you heard it before I unplugged it. It was all
sound like a sonic boom or something.
Yeah. So we've got Ballpark Frank climbing the tower in the back. Maybe he's got to change the transmitter or something.
It made a sound like it. Boomed?
I heard like a sonic boom type sound.
I didn't.
I thought I did.
But there's Brady over there. Hi, Brady.
We got the real MVP though. Ballpark.
Yep, there he is. He's wearing polo today. He does not have his jeans tight rolled. We all tight roll our jeans one leg at a time.
That's right.
But Ballpark Frank does not.
Man, I tight rolled the hell out. I shopped based off of how well my jeans tight roll.
I remember that. I got so good at it that there were some days at lunch at Meg's where people would ask me to tight roll their jeans for
I wonder
them.
if these jeans are good tight roll jeans.
Those look like the cut might be a little small.
But it depends on where the seam is, you know?
The seam is the key to a good tight roll. Do you think we could bring that back?
I hope not.
It's awesome.
Can you believe we used to do this, Brady?
Ask your mom about it. Ask your mom. She tight rolled her jeans.
How high up would you go?
Oh, I mean, as high as you could, man.
Yeah, that's a nice crease.
That's a tight roll.
Not Sensei John crease, but are those polo
that's
socks?
not coming undone, actually.
Are those Ralph Lauren socks or U.S. Polo
Those
Association?
are just U.S. Polo Association.
Yeah, people would buy that stuff. and return it the next day. This isn't polo. Mike, it's like $11.99.
Stretch the other leg out now.
It was Ralph Lauren.
Get up
Is
there.
that your glutes or your hammies?
It's my almost 48-year-old.
It's falling off the
Thigh.
better than
God,
bone
you're not
leg.
48 yet? I'm
Hamstring.
48 for 2 months.
I know. It's crazy.
No, not 2 full months.
It's a little
I'll be
offensive how old we.
You know, I
continue
turned
to get.
18 the day after the WBC championship. That was going to be my first bet.
World Baseball
Oh,
Classic?
I guess we need to call Tim Hollis. You got the number over there.
Yeah.
We need to holla.
What about Tim
at
Hardaway?
Tim Hollis.
Sounds like we're back on.
Sounds like we're back on. Okay, good.
Hopefully we're not on.
It's incredible. All the things he's got.
No, don't call, because we got people coming on.
Waterstone Mortgage, local experts, big time solutions.
Would you ever consider getting rid of these things? Shit. I use these things. How do you use a magazine? I was getting to that.
Do you ever bop your baloney?
I'm going steady now and got a French kiss. What's the big deal? Everybody does that. My dad's as long as that's bad. I was hoping for Runaway Train.
Welcome back to Fort Walton Beach. What we're doing. What I'm doing right now is I'm pulling up individual postcards for my Facebook simulcast viewers. This is my Okaloosa County section of postcards. I have over 650 individual postcards going all the way back to the Camp Walton days that are representative of Fort Walton Beach and the surrounding communities. And I like to think that I've got a pretty good hoard collection of stuff. Beyond these postcards, I've probably got, 750 flattened matchbooks. I've got all sorts of promotional travel brochures related to the area going back to the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. But that's all of my collection is sort of niche related to Okaloosa County, Fort Walton Beach and its surrounding communities. The gentleman that's going to be joining us next, not only does he collect that stuff, he's got stuff that I don't have that I'm very, I get junk drunk, yeah, Little Jaws, yeah, when I see it. But he has collections for Panama City and Pensacola and all of the Panhandle, because his family used to vacation in this area in the late 60s and early 70s when he was a child. And he decided to reminisce about it and write about it and collect all throughout his lifetime all of artifacts from all of his experiences. And when I tell you this gentleman has one of the most ridiculously awesome collections of pop culture items on display in his house in Dora, Alabama, it's just a sight to behold. Mr. Tim Hollis, locals historian and pop culture icon, thank you so much for joining us today on Fort Walton Beach, What We're Doing. No, sir, it is not. About this time last year, we were, of course, getting our historic snowfall. We got about 8 inches of snow here. Did the snowfall reach all the way up to Dora, Alabama? Yes, sir. And now Dora, Alabama. For those that don't know, I guess the nearest big city would be Birmingham. Is that correct? All right. So you grew up in Dora, Alabama. Your parents brought you to the Florida Panhandle in the late '60s, early '70s for multiple trips. What originally drew your family down to this little stretch of coastline back in the day? Yes, sir. That was located right next to the DeVille on Okaloosa Island. Yes, sir. And your parents, they really took you on some cool trips, and they documented it too because you became an author, and that's how I became first associated with you. You wrote an excellent book called Florida's Miracle Strip, and I think it's probably been out for maybe 20 years or so. Whew. Well, look, I know I have multiple copies of it, so if anyone's interested, they can just reach out to me if they would like one on loan. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, well, we us historians, we help each other out from time to time. I've loaned you a couple of postcards in the past for some of your books and stuff. Oh, what a shame. Tim, every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm getting a master class in Southern pop culture. For listeners who don't know you yet or have never heard about you, how would you describe how and why nostalgia became such a calling for you? Sure. Well, you know what? There's something to be said about the way that you do it because you don't just accumulate and allow it to stack up. I have a bad habit of doing that. You actually put these on display inside your house, the house that you grew up in as a child, and, and it's indescribably beautiful for someone who just. You know what? It all depends on perspective. It definitely can. I understand where you're coming from with the. You're really. You know, we're actually going to break right now, Tim. Do you mind sticking around for one more segment? Oh, I love it.
I like that attitude right there. Got to pay the bills.
Yes, sir. You are listening to Tim Hollis, a pop culture icon, in my opinion, a local historian, a historian in general, a huge local, privately owned museum in Dora, Alabama. Stick around. We're going to pick his brain a little bit more. Thanks so much for listening. Was that early? Oh. Man, Brady, what would we do without you?
Did he say I worked a program at your library?
He said program. He said program.
Kind of like Wolford. Like Wolford Brimley for diabetes?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I thought he said I worked a program at your library. Hey, I want to ask you a question. I noticed a lot of your postcards have a bird logo on the back. What is that symbolic of?
Where are you seeing that, Mike?
Most of them you held up have a black bird. Oh, it seems like when I was watching, every single one did.
Was it the one behind the stand?
This. A lot of them have this on it. And I was wondering,
I never thought
is that
about
the
that.
company? Is that...
Probably.
See? Does it see? Does
Yeah,
it
those are definitely all produced by the same company.
Okay, so maybe it's a company logo or something.
Good shoot.
But I just noticed it seemed like more.
Yeah. Good shoot.
I love the NFHS network during basketball season. I love watching other teams in our classification that are in other parts of the state. Last night I watched St. Petersburg and Pinellas Park. St. Petersburg had 11 dunks in one game.
Wow.
And it wasn't by one, well, most of them by one person, but 3 different players dunked. And I was just thinking, you know, if we make the playoffs and make a run, those guys would running clock us, no matter, even if we played our best game, you know?
Yeah.
But I love watching teams in our classification. Like Gibbs out of the St. Petersburg area, who were state semifinalists last year. They have a 7-footer committed to DePaul who just dunks like every time he gets the ball. But why is he going to DePaul? That's a mid-major at best.
Okay.
Remember DePaul? Do they still compete in Division I basketball? Remember DePaul? Do they still compete in Division I basketball?
The Demons?
DePaul, D-E-P-A-U-W. Do you remember them?
No.
They were DePaul with a W, and they were in Division I basketball. Can somebody look up DePaul?
Huh?
Can anybody look up DePaul and see if they still play Division I basketball? There you go. A little closer. Right there. Camp Walton. So who does Charlie Kirk's show now? His wife? Or are they still having guest hosts? I love this guy. I just want to listen to him.
For what you were doing, Jared, before we get back to our Indian I just wanted to, gave me these sheets. The Choctaw Indians
Yeah, they're about like dinner placemat size on poster paper.
So I was reading through the names and I came across the name Larry Keith, and it sounded familiar. I was trying to see if I remember it. And I remembered there was a man, a Choctaw graduate named Patrick Keith, who was the research facility was named after him. I was reading up on it. It was named after him. Unfortunately, he got a type of brain cancer. I believe it was glioblastoma.
He got a full ride to an Ivy League school. That's very impressive.
He was known for how amazing he was at, putting it to work.
Yeah.
And so after he passed away from brain cancer, in 2022, we're actually naming the facility after him.
They were kind of like the original Moroccos. There were several Keith brothers that played football for Choctaw.
Yeah, and as I had predicted, his father, Larry Keith, was on this sheet for 1977 and 1978 football team.
Small town indeed. And our guest, who has graciously decided to stick around for another segment, used to visit this small town back in the 1960s and 1970s with his family, Mr. Tim Hollis from Dora, Alabama. He is a historian, a pop culture icon. He is the archivist and curator of probably the most impressive privately owned pop culture museum in the country. He's got board games, toys, restaurant mascots, advertising characters, cereal box icons, you name it. Tim, when did you realize your hobby had officially turned into a full-blown museum? Yes, sir. What you are, though, and like you talked about in the last segment, you just kind of started to do it and it sort of snowballed. And I'm just going to guess that in your head, maybe you weren't the best at sports, or maybe you weren't the best at, me personally, I see a lot of myself in you. I am a collector of local things. I do not fish like I'm supposed to in this town. I don't golf like I'm supposed to in this town, and I've never been much of a wrench turner.
Yeah.
That's right. That's very true. What I am very good at doing, though, is collecting things and sharing them in a way that's meaningful and nostalgic for people, and it brings people together, and I'm really good at that. And I would say that I'm probably the best at doing that on a niche level in Okaloosa County anyway. And on a macro level, I can just imagine that at some point in your life you said, you know what, nobody's doing this better than I can. Am I correct in that assessment? That's a good way of putting it. And to the detriment of your mother, I guess. I guess she put up with it through multiple generations. Of course you do. Yeah, I think it's hilarious how you start off by saying, I really don't have much, and then you go off to list all these random things. I got a napkin with it, and a straw wrapper, and yeah. Well, let's walk our listeners through it. When someone opens the door to your museum, let's walk our listeners through this. What are they gonna see? What's the item or collection that gets the biggest? Oh my gosh, he has this type of reaction.
Because everyone starts looking for the one that they used to carry in school. You know, they said that the lunchbox you carried in school proved whether you were one of the cool kids or not, depending on what show or what character was on it.
I love that. How many lunchboxes are on your wall of lunchboxes? That is a lot of lunch.
Tim, do you have a Shoney's bear? Yes. Do you have a Shoney's bear or anything from the restaurant Shoney's? Okay.
The fire. I love it.
It's right on when my sister was born. Sad year.
Ooh, nice.
The only thing you needed to understand from Shoney's was the French toast sticks.
Oh, okay.
They were great.
Well, Tim, I've always been curious. I'm going to ask this. I don't think that you have any kids, right?
He's not wrong.
You know what? There's a lot to be said for that, Tim. Not having any heirs, have you had like museums reach out to you or universities? Have they approached you about preserving your collection in the event that, we don't want everyone to talk about it, but...
It's kind of the opposite. I've knocked my brains out trying to find some place that would be willing to inherit it, and no one wants that responsibility. So my will appoints a committee of people that I know and trust, and when that time comes, according to the circumstances at the time, they will decide what to do with it. The preference would be to keep it together and for it to continue being a fundraiser for some charity like St. Jude's Hospital or something like that. But if that's not practical, it'll all be sold off and the proceeds will go to a charity like that. So, there is a plan, but I won't be around to look after it.
Well, I've always wanted that, Tim. I would love to have you back on the show sometime. I could honestly pick your brain about so many different things. Would you mind joining us in the near future? Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Tim Hollis, pop culture icon, historian, collector extraordinaire, just a really good dude and available.
Tim, have you done a filmed walkthrough of your museum and uploaded it to transition or something like that?
We're going to be getting Coach Barnes on the phone when we get the station.
I worked on that for days, guys, so I hope it pays off.
I do too. I hope that I'm going to hear the static stop here in a second.
Yes.
And we can get that.
You
going.
really have confidence with Frank.
He can honestly do a lot of things.
Well, now Frank is nowhere to be seen, and I see Brady.
Well,
Which I have a lot of confidence in Brady, actually.
Frank is the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, Brady's like his mechanical son. You know, his tech-savvy partner in crime. He's like a mini Frank with his tech-savvy knowledge.
Yeah, his ability to pick up on things.
You know, I thought we were good with tech-savvy stuff being in our 40s, but then you see people like Frank and Brady, I'm like, well, shit, we're not that good.
No, we're not. I'll just continue showing these old postcards of the Destin area. Of course, they're in mirror mode. I apologize. This is the way that Facebook broadcasts.
God damn it. We're supposed to
I could turn my phone around and film that.
Brady's supposed to call him in a couple
the other
minutes.
lenses, but then I wouldn't be able to see the framing of things.
Yes, have you had conversation with Mercedes Claiborne?
I think it's pronounced Claiborne, isn't it? That's the way it's spelled, anyway. I briefly reached out to her on Facebook, and she indicated an interest in being on, but I had never heard back from her. Oh, good. I think we're back on.
Yes.
Good.
Can you call him, Brady? We're back on.
So, thank you to Coach Barnes from Choctaw. 850-374-3468. I want to thank our afternoon interview segments of the day, sponsored by Miracle Strip Body Shop, serving customers all the way since 1966 in this area. I want to thank Mr. Tim Hollis in the 4 o'clock hour. We had him. He's a pop culture icon, owner of one of the most prestigious, interesting, fantastically awesome, and nostalgic pop culture museums in his home of Dora, Alabama. And we also talked with Choctawhatchee basketball coach John Barnes in the last segment. Thank you so much, Coach Barnes, for allowing us a few minutes of your time. We know how busy the season is for you. This is district games galore. I forgot to ask him if I could sing the Star Spangled Banner at the last home game.
I'm pretty sure any coach would defer you to Thigpen.
Yeah?
I really do. He's the athletic director. That's his jurisdiction.
Okay. Well, Thigpen, if you're listening, I'm ready.
Well, before you start, Brady, shout out to Gareth and I's Meg's Wildcats for a big victory over Brady's prior Pirates last night in basketball. And former Choctaw wide receiver and Auburn wide receiver Willie Gaucher's son paced Meg's with 13 points. So, and Meg's is also coached by Magic Hall, who played on the 2002 Choctaw State runner-up basketball team. So big shout out to the Wildcats. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, the same guy that played on that, Joe Nasha, he was a defensive end on that team. He gave me a whole bunch of stuff yesterday.
So do they ever call him Chief Keef?
Ooh, he's in the news. He
is in the news today in a bad way. Apparently he was filming a music video and he was shot 6 times and is now in very critical condition at whatever local area hospital he's in.
That stuff I don't like. It's a Chief Keef song, by the way.
Matt DiBenedetto, if I'm correct, that may be the father.
I don't know. DiBenedetto is just one of those names like Smith and Johnson.
Yeah,
it just, yeah. It's
Peter
like four
Vitale.
whole pages in the phone book.
This is him. Came in with Peyton in the passenger seat, which is funny because, last name is so common. When I worked at Comedy Express in the grandma, I was in the car wash. I was like, Benedetto. That's my granddaughter. And then my new job, her dad.
So we're not talking Peyton Youssef, the right guard. Okay. I wonder if he likes Chick-fil-A.
DiBenedetto. It's my new vocal stem. DiBenedetto.
So did she go to Meg's or Pryor?
Oh, go Wildcats.
Go Wildcats.
It is. Playoff?
Thank you.
Story of my life.
I saw it coming. I thought the Houston defense would be that dominant, but it held it clear. Speaking of lackluster offense, the Houston Texans and CJ Stroud, their team. I don't say that it will win as well as CJ does, because CJ again, or they still won the game and the score-wise dominating fashion, 76-50. CJ Stroud looked the worst out of. I think he had the worst quarterback play.
I can't think of another performance a quarterback could have and win a game other than that. I mean, that, yeah. Yeah. Stroud finished with 6 fumbles, 4 lost, 1 return for a touchdown, and interception in the red zone that was it taken back for a touchdown? Or it got taken back to set up a short field or something like that. But that says, does that speak for the Steelers to you, or does that speak for the dominance of the Texans defense?
Not as much. So I knew the Houston defense, and everybody knows that. It's also about how the Steelers play. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, he's sitting on offensive line. It's kind of fairy tale if he did. So I'm not 44 years old or something, sort. Houston's defense is very good. We knew that it would be. I just don't see how Houston will.
Brady, the big question I had of watching that game, because I am a huge sports fan. Gareth can attest to that.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all the sports, I just really haven't enjoyed the NFL's product over the last 5 or 6 years. But with you guys watching all the games and talking about it, I have started to watch it again. My main question, Brady, in the Texans-Steelers game, Woody Marks averaged almost 8 yards a carry. But why did they keep putting the ball in Stroud's hands to turn the ball over when they had a guy that was almost getting you a first down every carry? But he only ended with 16 carries.
He was injury. He's been snake bit with injuries.
Yeah, and it's also been just the thing that Woody's been one of those guys where, like, you have him on your fantasy team, and you're like, wow, every time that he, gets the carries and gets the receptions, he's getting plenty of yards. It's just not the way that they're offense is. And I think a big storyline for future this year is going to be quarterback play back in C.J. Stroud. And the rookie year that he had was something sweet, and that's the quarterback that they're going to You certainly weren't happy with the way he was playing against the Steelers. And they want to turn out the no shot against Cleveland. Because it's just cold, cold weather that was just quarterback. Think about how C.J. Stroud played at Ohio State. I saw a fumble where he literally got the ball back to the rest of the chest. And that's exactly what you see in that recess. The ball too cold. Hits off.
It happened to me a lot of times playing
I
Falcon
was
ball.
just gonna make a Falcon ball reference, dude.
Coach
You and I are on the
Little,
same wavelength.
Coach Little used to get very upset with me.
Vermillion
Coach
Mills
Fairfield
used to be
wasn't so
awesome.
yeah. Gareth, there's an NFL question. People that don't know you like I do. It's the Super Bowl. The Patriots are playing the Vikings. Who is Gareth Stearns rooting for?
I hope it never happens. The Vikings are traveling to Foxborough next year, and I'm already dreading it because it means one of my teams are going to lose.
Because in my mind, from the Wade Wilson to Randall Cunningham era, we are Vikings fans. The Minnesota Vikings, are your favorite football team. But you've also had a very long running storyline with the Patriots. But I still picture you as a Vikings fan. And I don't know if that's because I'm a Vikings fan or if that's just your starter jacket doing the talking.
It could be my 1990 Minnesota Vikings starter jacket that I still own. So, and occasionally dust off and take pictures in. The Minnesota Vikings are the only team that I have glommed onto as a fan in my lifetime that I have no geographical ties to.
And no really explanation why.
Just cool uniforms.
Yeah, the logo on the helmet.
You could not find any Minnesota Vikings gear in this town. And maybe it was seeing the Vikings helmet or that little Viking horn in purple instead of red. Maybe that was...
Yes, we are talking Minnesota Vikings,
Yeah.
just to clarify things.
So, yeah, I don't know. My dad grew up in New Hampshire. That's why I like the Celtics and the Patriots. I have no explanation other than the fact that it was a different team than anyone else was rooting for around here. Growing up, the Falcons were certainly not fun to watch. The Saints were certainly not fun to watch. The Buccaneers were certainly not fun to watch. Jaguars didn't exist yet, and Miami Dolphins were way too far away.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the Houston Texans are closer geographically than the Miami Dolphins.
They are. So are the Carolina Panthers.
Yes, the Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints.
The Tennessee
Titans, absolutely.
We got about a minute left. I'm very disappointed. I'll actually be out of town. All of these games. I have no idea what happened.
Is this just a weekend? I remember my daughter going there with First United Methodist Church years ago. Is it just a weekend thing?
Yeah, so there's Blue Lake, there's this camp called Oakwood.
Yes, that's where she went.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 weekends. It's one for boys only, one for girls only.
Are we going to have you out here on Friday, or is this it for you for the week?
I'm really excited for the
They do. I believe my daughter went 2 years in a row, and yes, she said it was she had a good time. You get treated very well. Brady, you can always call from the road if you're getting cellular service.
Yeah, and that means we won't have you in studio till next Wednesday, a week from today.
Luckily, I learned your trade yesterday, and I think I did okay.
You did better than okay.
We're going to bring you guys home happy. Thank you for listening to Bull. What we are doing 5 o'clock at 6, so we are going to hit the road. You guys get home safely. Be back tomorrow with Garrison.
And thanks for joining us.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to Walton Beach. What we're doing.
Oh, I thought you were doing your Trump voice.
Oh, that was.
Okay, I'm not
That
gonna
was
stop.
the
I'm not gonna stop my stream until you finish.
That was the greatest show that we've done so far. There's no show greater.
My Trump watch says it was the right time.
Imagine them doing this show in China.
With the China virus?
Oh man,
That's not safe.
It's not safe. We're gonna bring all the jobs back from China, and we're gonna do it better and bigger than ever. And no one's. It's gonna be the greatest it's ever been done.
But we're not gonna bring the China virus with us.
No.
That stays in Wuhan.
So the illegals, they can stay over there as well. You know, shithole countries.
Shithole states like Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Minnesota's like a third world country right now.
There's my answer. I'm rooting for the Patriots if they ever meet in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just
Did
based
you
off
see
of
that the
local,
ICE agent
national news.
that she hit with her car did suffer a broken rib and internal bleeding? CBS News just released that today.
Oh, well, I did not see that.
Yes.
I'll have to
So
pay closer attention.
I think that was
tomorrow.
I think that was self-defense.
All right. Well, Brady, are you ready for your big camping experience? Are you going to be able to call in at all on Friday at least, or
Tales from the
When
road.
do they confiscate?
You're gonna
your
be in a
phone?
white van full of like 20 kids, aren't you?
14 total kids are going.
Yeah, it might be a little bit noisy.
I don't know, maybe Monday you'll get me. I'll only be with 5 other kids in the van. In the bus. It's a bus, so.
Okay. And
Well,
there's
You
no
might hear
signal
from
up
me
there
Monday,
anyway.
maybe Friday, I don't know.
All right. Well, we're gonna miss you regardless.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in here
And here.
and on here.
All right.
And Brady, enjoy your trip to Blue Lake
Try.
in Alabama, correct?
Alabama, yes, it's
That's
Sweet
Place
home
tomorrow.
Alabama.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Also, Frank Beasley announced that we will be traveling to Auburn High School this year in Auburn, Alabama, who was the 7A runner-up this year. So they were better than Enterprise.
Mosley.
We told them that